I've been thinking about making this video for the past couple of days, since most of you guys don't really know me. In this video, I'm gonna introduce myself and talk about my running career so far. So first of all, my name is Tomer Mualem, I'm 20 and I'm from Israel. I'm a student athlete at Butler University and I'm running cross country and track and field and specialize in 3000 meter steeplechase with a PB of 8:49. And I just finished my first semester. And I opened this YouTube channel to share my journey with you all. It all started when I was 13. Unlike the US, when you have school teams, we have clubs. But still, we do have some school competitions. So I raced in my region, 1K, and I finished third with a time of 3:15 without knowing what running is and without training. And then I joined the club. And 1 year later, when I was 14, I won my first national title on the under 16 category, and I did it 3 times on the 600, 1000 and 2000 meters. The next year, where I was 15 years old, was my first year trying the steeplechase. And there were 2 international races on the line that year. The first one was Balkan Championships, which is something like 15 countries, and to be honest, Israel is not one of the Balkan countries, but for some reason we raced there. And the second one was EOF, which is the European Yacht Olympic Championships. Leading up to that year, I didn't think about making the team in neither of them. My first steeplechase race was 1000 meters, and I missed the Israeli under 18 record by only 1 second. I somehow ended up that year with the standards both to the Balkan and to EOF. I ran 6:01 for the 2K steeple, and I would say this was one of the best races I've had to this day. But unfortunately, I didn't make it to neither of them because Turkey hosted the Balkan Championships, and you know, Israel, Turkey, unfortunately. And I was the second Israeli by 0.5 of a second to go under the standard for EOF, and only one can race per team, so I didn't race there either. Next year I was hungry for more. I gained the confidence I had to gain, and I was prepared. This year was the European under 18 championships, but this year was also a COVID year, which means the championship got cancelled. I still managed to dip under the Israel under 18 record for the 1K steeple, and I ran 2:42 at that time. Moving up to the next year, 2021, where I was 17. The distance went to 3000 meter steeplechase because I moved up to the under 20 category. And there were 2 international championships at the time, Europeans under 20 and Worlds under 20. My original goal was to hit the standard for Europeans under 20, which was 9:15 at the time, but I ran way beyond my expectations, clocking a time of 9:05 in my second 3000 meter steeplechase, which gave me the ticket to Worlds as well. To this day, this is the best race I've ever ran in my life. Leading up to Europeans, I wanted to make the final, but it wasn't an easy task at all. It was my first international race and I was pretty nervous. I ran 9:17, 9:18 or so, and I didn't make the final, unfortunately. I had some time to recover well and prepare for Worlds. And Worlds was 1 month later, 1.5 months later. The race was in Nairobi, which means it's altitude, 1800 meters or 6,000 feet, I would say. I cannot explain the experience I had in words. It was literally a dream come true. And you could see it in my run as well. After 1.5 laps, I would say 600 meters, I fell in the water jump. I didn't fail, I dived into the water jump, and I tried to catch up with the front group. And as I said, obviously it was altitude. My legs didn't like it, but I didn't quit. I finished with a time of 9:53. Yeah, embarrassing, but I still finished the race, which is better than DNF. 2022 was another World Under 20 year. That year, my goal was way different. I wanted to make the final, period. I got under the standard on my season opener with a time of 9:03 without working too much, so I can have the standard and work and prepare for Worlds without worrying too much. I felt like I'm in 850 shape, but for some reason I couldn't improve the 9:03 before Worlds. I ranked 36th, where only 15 make it to the final, but I knew my shape is way better than my PB. I ran pretty well in the first round. I lost my ticket to the final on the last lap, finishing 22nd overall with a time of 9:08, only 6 seconds away from the final. A couple of months later, I raced my first European cross-country champs, and the weather was freezing, for me at least. It was 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was the coldest I've ever been in that time. And I couldn't perform well because of the freezing weather and because my preparation wasn't that good, to be honest. I dipped under 9 minutes on my 2023 season for the first time in my season opener, where I ran solo the whole way. I finished with a time of 8:58, and I was pretty pleased with it, considering the minimum time for Europeans under 23 was 9 flat. 1 month later, I raised my PB to this time, 8:49, and I was pretty happy with it. I knew I have it in my legs, and I've waited for this 8:49 for so long. The preparations for Europeans under 23 weren't optimal at all. I twisted my ankle 3 weeks before the race, and it was pretty bad. At least worse than I thought it is. I stopped running for 4 days and I did some cross training and aqua jogging, and after the 4 days I was back on running. But apparently my ankle wasn't ready for running. I could run for 1 week and then the pain came back, but that time it was much harder and much worse. So I decided to stop running, so maybe I have a chance to race. I did many physio sessions with many physiotherapists, and I almost canceled my flight until 3 days before the race, where I saw a physio that changed up everything. It basically fixed me up. My first run was 2 days before the race, and I did some hurdle jumps the day before the race just to make sure my ankle can handle it. At the end I raced, and my ankle did handle it pretty well, but my body didn't, and I didn't race the race I wanted to. Here we are at the 2024 season, where I joined Butler University. I'm so thankful and pleased about this opportunity to race in such a high level and train with the best guys in the country. If you are following me, you already know what happened this year. This year started pretty well, with a new PR at the 5K of 14:12. But then I went through an injury and finished my season with a sports hernia surgery. It was hard to miss my first outdoor season, especially when it was the first I've ever missed. But it is what it is, and I'll be back stronger. Now we are facing the cross-country season, and we will do our best to finish as high up as possible at the national meets. That is it about myself. I opened this channel to share my journey with you all. If you have some things you would like to see or some video ideas, just drop it in the comments down below and I will make those. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like and share it with some friends that might like this content. And I will see you in the next video. SteepleMu.